Recently, all of social media has been blowing up with the debate of one gorilla versus 100 humans.
Bro, I see a post of this shit at least twice a day. Niggas saying there would be a gorilla. 100 people would be a gorilla. I'm sorry. I'm the person that falls on, I don't think 100 people would be a gorilla. And the only reason why is not because statistically they could, but just putting it into practicality, it wouldn't happen, I'm telling you. Niggas would fight each other. And other niggas would run away. So I'm telling you, it wouldn't work out.
The funny thing is that everyone seems completely divided onto who would win the fight. One side thinks that the gorilla would pull a Winston and just completely thrash the army of humans with ease, while the other side believes that the sheer numbers would let the humans just beat up the gorilla like it's Naruto.
Bro, you have to think, like, yo, there's no way 100 people are not jumping one gorilla at the same time. It's just not physically possible. 100 people can't jump at the same time. There has to be the first 10 people in the first 10 row. And guess what? The gorilla would just, boom, 4 people gone just with one swing of their hands. So I don't know what people are talking about, bro.
Is actually correct. Is a gorilla versus 100 people actually a fair fight, or is it actually a stomp? Does the gorilla win, or do the humans? Let's find out. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's jump right in. Now, to begin, I think it's important to establish both sides of this fight. For the gorilla, we are assuming that this is essentially the strongest gorilla possible.
Right.
Of the 4 gorilla species, easily the largest and strongest
Silverback gorilla.
Silverback Eastern Lowland gorilla. At the absolute largest, gorillas can stand at over 6 feet tall and weigh between
6 foot low. Look at this nigga's arms, bro. 6 foot tall. Come on now. Let's be for real.
and 5, with the largest ever being about 600 pounds or even beyond. However, this fails to capture how a gorilla's overall proportions drastically exceed that of a normal human, with a wingspan of over 8 feet, drastically more muscle mass, and far less body fat. In comparison to the peak gorilla, the group is made up of 100 average people. There will be no boxers, nor MMA fighters or athletes, and instead it will just be 100 totally.
Right, we're not talking about no Mike Tysons, no Floyd Mayweathers, no John Jones or whatever that nigga's name is from the UFC. Your average James John Doe, everyday nigga that you see going to the CVS. Yeah, that's the people we're talking about, okay?
People with totally normal physical stats, with there being an equal number.
You think these 2 brothers right here walking past would be a gorilla? You tell me. These 2 right here. This one and this one. Come on now. Let's be for real.
Women. Now, technically, average height and weight varies somewhat drastically across the planet, so for this video, we'll be taking the stats from just Americans when possible. This means the 50 men in the group will be on average 5'9" and almost 200 pounds, while the 50 women in the group will be on average 5'4" and 170 pounds. Now, to be fair, Americans are kinda fat, so ultimately, using the statistics of a healthier nation doesn't change these values very much, or the outcome, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So either way, the gorilla is going to be far larger than any single.
Look at him doing twists like a blade.
Inches and being casually twice the weight of the average man. Also, just so we're all on the same page, this is what 100 people looks like.
Bro, 100 people, 100 people doesn't even look like that much. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This does not look like 100 people, but if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. This adds up to 100 people. It doesn't even look like that much. You put one gorilla here. This nigga, he's smiling too much. He's gonna be the first one to die. This lady, I'm sorry. You seem like very weak. Even I could throw you with one hand. You're gone. Nigga, this whole first row is gone. And then guess what? These people, when they see the first row gone, guess what they're gonna do? Run away. When these people see other people running away, other people are gonna run away. Maybe this guy right here, Hernandez, he's gonna try to fight the gorilla, but guess what? He's gonna get cooked as well. And Pablo here, he's gonna try help Hernandez because, they're both boys and they're probably smashing the same girl. They're probably smashing this girl right here. And, they're probably like, yo, I have to defend my boy, hermano, que lo que. They're gonna both get cooked by the gorilla. I'm telling you, it's not gonna work out. Other niggas are gonna see this and gonna be like, oh, hell no, I got a wife at home. I need to go. I can't die today. I'm telling you, bro. In practicality, it's not gonna work. Technically, it could work 100 people because the gorilla would get tired. He would physically get tired. But practicality, it would not work. I'm telling you.
Not a small group, but it's also not a massive crowd by any means. A lot of college lectures have more people than this in them. With that being understood, who wins this? Determining the true strength of a gorilla is incredibly difficult for multiple reasons. Firstly, gorillas ultimately are not a predatory species, so in comparison to something like a bear, a wolf, or any of the
I actually didn't know gorillas were vegetarian.
Secondly,
that's actually surprising.
That will willingly do experiments to test the limits of human strength, doing the exact same thing is almost impossible for gorillas because they're not just going to do a bench press for a couple of bananas, unfortunately. This forces most, if any, estimations of gorilla strength to be just that, estimations based off of their bodies and the very rare instances of strength that we have.
By the way, you see this glass that the gorilla just broke? Just wanted to mention one thing, yeah. This is basically a bulletproof glass that he just broke. This is a glass that's meant to handle lions. Did you see what he just did to that glass? Alright.
Just wanted to highlight that point. There is a lot of hearsay and misinformation regarding gorillas, with most online sources claiming completely different stats for what gorillas are actually capable of. Finally, a lot of info about gorillas that does exist is oftentimes really old. The biggest issue, though, is that inconsistent information.
Damn, that nigga came in sliding.
One website says they can lift 1,800 pounds, while another claims they can lift more than twice that at 4,000 pounds. Things get even more wild when these resources put it in terms of humans. Some claim that a gorilla is 8 times stronger than an average man. Another claims that they are 4 to 10 times stronger than a human. Another source claims 12 times, with another claiming that gorillas are a whopping 20 times stronger than a human.
Crazy.
Clearly, the only consistent thing agreed on here is that gorillas are stronger than humans, but this much variation in number between sources is enough to say that these numbers are completely made up or very unsubstantiated. So let's look to what actual researchers have said about gorillas, or what we have actually seen them do in real life. Consistently, gorillas have been seen uprooting thin banana trees, shattering protective glass, and have broken human arms in brief attacks. Smaller and weaker primates like chimpanzees have shown feats of strength 2 to 3 times stronger than that of a normal human, around 800 to 1,200 pounds. Given that chimps are less than a quarter of the weight of a gorilla, suddenly the 4,000 pound claims look slightly more valid and would approximately make them 8 to 10 times stronger than a human being lifting wise, though strength and weight don't exactly work like that in a 1-to-1 ratio. Clearly. Looking back to older information, the statements get harder to verify, but could also be potentially more legitimate, as these were real interactions in the wild. We have accounts from 19th century explorer Paul Chalu recounting gorillas snapping and bending metal guns with their bare hands, or even an older account from explorer Andrew Patel that recounts that 10 people were unable to pin a gorilla down. Finally, we have more speculative calculations around things like gorilla bite force and punching strength, which is incredibly difficult to calculate without, having the gorilla punch something that actually measures the force. Still, even the most lowball calculations put the gorilla's strength at around 881 joules of force, with the highest being 3,660 joules of force.
I don't know how much that is, but that sounds crazy.
About 74 joules with their punches, which would make the potential difference in punch power anywhere from around 10 to
almost 10 times. Yeah, that's crazy.
Speed is something we really need to talk about here. It isn't like other power scaling topics where either side is a blitz difference faster than the other or anything like that. Gorillas and humans are simply comparable in overall speed, with the gorilla being a bit faster in bursts of muscular power, though such speeds aren't exactly sustainable. So overall, gorillas are stronger, larger, heavier, and more powerful than multiple humans combined. Either way, though, are the humans cooked? Let's get into it. Now, in a 1v1, 2v1, or even 10v1,
it's
I think
over.
the gorilla could pretty easily take it.
Yeah,
everything we've seen, from historical accounts to estimations, a gorilla may legitimately be around 10 times the strength of average humans, making all of these random articles potentially correct even if they were just yapping. Single strikes and bites from a gorilla is going to be breaking bones of whoever is unlucky enough to be in range. As they tend to do, they can also easily grab, lift, and pull around any human they manage to grab. Furthermore, most attacks from a human are simply not going to legitimately harm a gorilla. The difference in the basic...
Bro, punch a gorilla. He'll think it's like you're scratching his back. If an average human punches a gorilla, he'll literally think you're just trying to scratch his back. He might say thank you to you. You're over there struggling, putting your whole strength into one punch like you're Saitama. He's gonna think, oh, thanks for that, man. Thanks for the scratch. I really needed that. Then he just rolls back, boom, swings you. Like, guess what? It's over for you. You're going paraplegic for the rest of your life.
Lifting and punching power being so immense that the person punching the gorilla would probably hurt their hands more than the gorilla's body. But as the number of humans increases towards 100, things get worse and worse for the gorilla for multiple reasons. Firstly, fatigue. Gorillas are not used to, nor are they really built for long, drawn-out fights. Most conflicts between gorillas only last a couple minutes at most, which is actually true for most humans as well. But while the gorilla might tear through 20, 30, 40 people, boom, there are still 60 humans the gorilla has to beat in order to win. Secondly, in this fight, strategy and coordination genuinely matter. For this fight to even happen,
and that's what I'm saying, that in practicality, it won't work. Like strategically, it should work. Right, 100 people, if they're all attacking at the same time, same pace, no one has emotions of fear. Everyone is just going straight, boom, 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 boom. It should technically work, but in practicality, people are gonna feel emotions of fear, of doubt. People are gonna get scared. People don't want to die. So guess what? They're not going to be coordinated. And we're talking about average people. We're not talking about Navy SEALs. We're not talking about, we're not talking about those kinds of people. We're talking about average people. So even though, yes, it is 100 people, guess what? 20 of those people are probably gonna run away. And that's a minimum. 20 are gonna run away. The other 20, I just hurt myself. The other 20 are probably going to die because they're probably in the front line, or maybe 10 not going to die. Then the other 10 that see the other people dying, they're probably going to be scared to like fight. So they're going to think, okay, should I just run away as well? You know what I mean? It's not going to work out.
Or the concept of fear for both sides. If a gorilla saw a group of 100 humans, they are very likely not going to attack and just run away. On the other side, if most people saw a gorilla beating up a dude, they're not going to jump in and help out.
That's exactly what I just said.
With that being said, if both sides legitimately want to beat the other with full conviction and no other options, 100 people can pretty quickly coordinate to absolutely bum rush on the gorilla, who simply would not be able to attack every person at once, even 20 people at once. Which brings up the third thing, weight. For as strong as a gorilla is, especially a potentially tired gorilla is simply not strong enough to hold off the weight of a coordinated group of humans. At the mid-end estimation of 1,800 pounds, even just 20 200-pound humans would be able to pin down a gorilla, with the only claim to the contrary being from a guy born in the 1500s. Would people get hurt and probably be killed in this effort to pin him down? But again, there are 50 dudes all prepared to do this, let alone the 50 women. But pinning isn't enough. The gorilla would need to be defeated, and even without tools, humans should be able to actually hurt gorillas. While human punches are far weaker than the apes, human kicks are overall far stronger. It can range from over 3,000 to over 4,000 joules, which is actually stronger than gorilla punches from a pure energy output standpoint, as crazy as that sounds. So while yes, one guy randomly kicking a gorilla would probably do nothing, several dozen people all kicking at a gorilla's head while he's already pinned down would eventually take him out. So yes, 100 humans could be a gorilla.
Cap.
Gorillas were
I'm telling you, again, I'll say it again for the last time. Technically, yes, they could. Practicality, no, they wouldn't. Point blank, period. Simple as that.
Truly a threat to literally 100 humans at a time, there would be far more stories of gorillas actually, killing humans, while we have stories like this for elephants or bears. So bottom line is this: humans most likely win, but you don't want to be at the front of the crowd when you're staring down a silverback.
Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, man. Also, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get 200 subscribers before the end of the year, and I can only do that with you guys supporting me. Alright, I'll see you soon. Maybe, I don't know. I'm out. Peace.